All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us today for the MJBizCon 2021 Inside Scoop. If you couldn't make the webinar or conference this year, we've got you covered. We want to ensure that you are up to date on the hottest trends on what occurred at MJBizCon, and want to make sure that you didn't miss out. So today we'll be covering the 2021 hottest cannabis trends, highlights from the MJBizCon and MJ Unpack speaker sessions, as well as the future of the cannabis industry. Well, let's kick it off. For anyone that has any questions, please feel free to ask the questions in the Q&A function here at the bottom of Zoom, or if you're on social media, feel free to comment on some of the on the live video, and I'll be sure to answer those questions right away. Well, wonderful. Before we kick it off, I just want to give an introduction of myself. My name is Guillermo Bravo. I'm the Chief Evangelist here at MediaGel. MediaGel is a marketing cloud which enables cannabis brands, retailers, and delivery services to connect with cannabis consumers through a combination of organic search, paid search, and programmatic advertising. We do this through our marketing cloud and our multi-touch attribution and reporting software. All right, and then let's kick it off. So there's been a lot of talk at both events about mergers and acquisitions. This is not a new topic. There's been some pretty prominent acquisitions and mergers throughout the last few years. Consolidation has been a topic for quite some time in the space. Obviously, the leading M&A being that on the technology side, which was Dutchie, with the acquisition of Leaf, Logix, and Greenbits, as well as the largest raise in the cannabis industry for an ancillary business. So this has been a trend for quite some time, and I do not see this slowing down anytime soon. There's a lot of consolidation occurring in the space on the technology side, on the brand side. Groups acquiring brands and putting them under their portfolio, as well as retailers, that are going public and using that as an access point to acquire local retailers and put them under their portfolio. So M&A is definitely a huge topic, despite the public stock prices being well off their spring highs. The M&A discussion was very, very prominent at the event. I did have a lot of meetings with individuals throughout the week and over the weekend, and this is all that they were talking about. And it's been a constant topic across the entire industry. So in regards to M&A, there's a lot of different ways that you can prepare for this. And the main thing that I want to emphasize is that you really don't want to rush this. You want to find your dancing partner that you will have success with long term. So what that means is if you're considering doing an M&A and merging with another company, make sure you do due diligence and vetting the financials, the vision of the company, the executive team. Everything across the board needs to be in alignment with your goals, or else it's not going to be successful. And there's going to be a lot of consolidation in the industry, and with that becomes a lot of success and a lot of failures. And we'll start to see that kind of unwind, in the next few years. It's been a constant evolution between the space, but I do see that there's, especially the Dutchie kind of cementing in stone their dominance in the technology side when it comes to e-commerce and point of sale systems. That has really kind of set the industry standard on what is possible within the industries. And I definitely applaud Ross Lipson and Zach Lipson for putting that together and growing Dutchy to where it is today. They've been a crucial partner for us. And I think that the e-commerce aspect of the industry is going to continue to grow. COVID has expedited the acceptance and need for e-commerce technology companies. Before it could have been a nice to have, but now it is a must have to be able to fulfill orders and to be able to scale solely on a digital platform as opposed to in-store sales. So COVID has definitely changed the industry, and at least in our part of the business, it's helped us in a positive way. So just to be aware of that. COVID, that was obviously a huge topic. I heard a lot of stories on how people pivoted or changed their focus, how they maximized their revenue and customer acquisition with a little spend during COVID. When COVID hit, no one really knew what to do. It caught everyone by left, kind of out of nowhere. So, it was really up to us to find our own path and review the kind of policies. And some states and regions did change their policies to enable cannabis brands and retailers and delivery services to activate their company within the circumstances of cities being closed and in-store traffic being unavailable. So I'll just give you an example for the foot traffic media gel side. Last year in April, in March actually, I think it was March 21st when we got the word in San Francisco that everything was shut down. It was quite a shock to the system. And we really needed to take some time to reflect on what it is that we're doing and how we wanted to proceed going forward. And on the foot traffic side, we assumed that everything was going to be digital, right? So no more meetings in person. Whether it's lack of ability to travel or everything being shut down, or people just not wanting to meet in general, in person. We just needed to we needed to adhere to kind of everyone's feedback on how they felt about the whole situation. So immediately, once everything shut down that weekend, we had a team meeting, and we decided that we were going to go full digital on all our efforts. No more office, no more in-person meetings, and we were going to assume the Zoom lifestyle. And what that meant for us is that we had to evolve as far as how we ran our business. Foot traffic, media gel, we are a primarily remote company. We did have a few offices in the Bay Area, and since COVID, we have let those go. But we took the liberty to prioritize everything online, and what that meant for us was creating content to showcase all the information, all the ins and outs of marketing and advertising technology within the cannabis space. And we did that through a weekly webinar series. So that has been really fundamental in the growth of our company in the last year and a half. And we took the same template for our clients. We didn't necessarily do webinars, but we did prioritize online content and education and advertising. So, for example, we have some mortar locations. I remember the first few weeks of COVID shutdowns in California, and then as it progressed across the United States, and San Francisco was the first city to shut down, we were ahead of the curve, and then Los Angeles and all the other cities followed. So we were able to test things in the San Francisco market with our clients, and then roll it out to the entire country, including Canada, Puerto Rico, and other countries as well. So, the first thing that we did for cannabis dispensaries was add a notification on the website as to how we are keeping people safe during COVID. And then we changed in some ways our marketing strategy. So a lot of places did not allow in-store foot traffic. All they wanted to do was push online orders and then curbside pickup or deliveries. So there was a major transition on the retail side from in-store traffic to delivery or curbside pickup. So getting that message out to customers was crucial. And we did that through a combination of our website, organic search, paid search, programmatic. We also leveraged push notifications, SMS marketing, and email marketing to get this message out to ensure that customers had a safe experience when trying to consume cannabis during the pandemic. And I'm very grateful that cannabis was, listed as a essential business, and I think that really set in stone the importance of cannabis in the world globally. Cannabis was really used as a medicinal, plant during this time. Like, the people the number, the total revenue, from cannabis skyrocketed during the pandemic. Like there was a short drop for some time as kind of people got kind of understood, how to walk in this new norm. But once that all was settled in, then people continued to buy cannabis, and they continued to buy more. There was a lot of stress and an uncertainty that we all had to deal with, and people turned to cannabis as a way to cope with that. So that was definitely a huge topic. Thank you for everyone at the conferences for kind of respecting the COVID guidelines and wearing their masks, trying to maintain 6 feet space, and staying clean and washing your hands on a regular basis. All right, let's continue on to some other items. Next, let's talk about kind of the uncertainty in public stocks. There was a little hesitation on that front in regards to people investing in cannabis stocks. They have not been performing that well over time. They've been kind of up and down. Like last year was incredible for the stocks. A lot of the major cannabis IPOs we did really well, and then this year they didn't do so well. So there's some little hesitancy there on the markets. There's uncertainty on the future, especially with like wholesale flower prices and federal legalization or decriminalization. So there's a lot of uncertainty there. I think that there's definitely obviously been an influx of competition in every aspect of the industry. So just being cautious on that front. I think when I spoke to people, they were optimistic on a macro level, less on a micro. So everyone's kind of sees the future as bright for cannabis, but there's a lot of worries on like how we're going to get there. Like, when is federal legalization going to occur? Is it going to be 2 years before the Biden administration ends? Is it going to be during the next 4 years of the presidency? I don't have a crystal ball, but I do know that it's coming soon. It's inevitable, but I wouldn't expect it to be within 2 years. Like it's, the industry has moved very fast. Do keep in mind there's other industries that are involved that influence the legalization of cannabis, and they're delaying this as much as possible, so that they could continue to receive their revenue from their industries. And they're good, and they have big pockets in lobbying in Washington. So that's the main thing that's going to hold this back. I do see, with the increase in funding for people throughout the United States, there is a need for tax funds from cannabis. So I do see that as a positive and really pushing the industry forward. But there is no there's no certainty in any of this, right? So we can speculate all we want, but in the end, we'll have to be patient to kind of see how things progress. Different trends that are occurring in the space. Edibles and drinkables are hot right now. I've heard this over and over and over again. And the data from Headset has supported this. So edibles are gaining market share and taking that away from flower products. This is not going to change. And then I did see the Cannabis Marketing Association talk at MJBizCon with Lisa Buffo, and she had some interesting highlights. 70% of consumers would go out of their way to find a brand, and 85% of consumers are converting from brand conversion to brand loyalty. So there's enormous opportunities in cannabis, and Lisa is leading the way and providing insights in some of this data. So definitely applaud her for excellent speech at Cannabis at MJBizCon. And depending on what your market is, MJBizCon is really a general cannabis conference, and MJ Unpacked is primarily for cannabis retailers and brands and executives. So we found the MJ Unpacked to be more beneficial for our needs at MediGel to capture brands and retailers. And we had the ability to meet one-on-one with these people, and it was much quieter. There definitely was not as many people at MJ Impact. It was a more intimate setting, but it was really effective in us in generating leads. So if you're looking to reach retailers and brands, maybe next year you may want to consider MJ Unpacked as opposed to MJBizCon. What I found with MJBizCon, and this is feedback from our team as well, is that it was very general. There's a lot of people that are trying to get into the space. It's covering a broad spectrum of industries. So, we are in ad tech, and we have a very specific clientele that we're looking to reach. At these events, there's people in cultivation, there's people in legal, there's people in distribution, and all these different areas of the cannabis industry. It's quite overwhelming. And with that being said, a lot of the people that we met at MJBizCon are not our potential clients. So, I just wanted everyone to be aware of that there is a key difference between the two events. Obviously, the size at MJBizCon is undeniable. It's probably about 20 times bigger than MJ Unpacked, but the relevancy of what we met at MJ Unpacked was far superior for our needs. So just depending on what your goals are as a company, if you're looking for brand awareness, or looking to generate leads, or just simply looking for people to opt in to your platform, whether it's a social platform or other, then really take this into consideration before you invest in a booth next year. All right. And before I continue on, is there anyone that has any questions? Samantha, do you have anything that you'd like to ask? Any others on the stream that have any questions? I just wanted to save some time for everyone so I can answer some of your feedback before I continue. we have a question related to celebrities in the space. So it's no surprise that there is a lot of celebrities getting into the space. I know that the keynote speaker, Damon John of Shark Tank, was phenomenal. I did see Lil Kim there, Nelly. There was a bunch of other celebrities that were in attendance at the event, whether it's doing market research or finding vendors or beginning to launch their brand. You know, like a lot of athletes, NFL players, NBA players, musicians, comedians, you know, like Mike Tyson, Al Harrington, you know, the list goes on. And, you know, one thing that people have asked me is, you know, how loyal are people to cannabis celebrity brands? And the answer is little to none. I mean, from what I've seen, people are looking for the best value. They're looking for the best price and quality of product, and aren't necessarily loyal to a celebrity brand in some cases. So there's certain celebrities that kind of put their name on everything, and just because you know, they're like serial entrepreneurs, and they just, whether it's crypto, cannabis, alcohol, like they have their names on everything. And I do believe that customers are realizing that you know, they're just trying to make money from this. And there's certain celebrities that do have a history in the cannabis space that people trust a little bit more. So just keep that in mind when partnering with a celebrity brand, ensuring that the quality of the product is up to standard and that you can maintain that going across state lines. And big topic here is investments. So there's been another question here on you know, on the different raises. You know, Jay-Z did put I think 100 million valuation for Flow Hub. Actually got a big raise as well, one of the biggest in the industry, if not the biggest. I think it valued at over a $3.5 billion valuation for Dutchie, which is incredible. Let me see. All right. So just being aware of that. And then Samantha has a question: how common or widespread is the use of programmatic advertising? No questions, Samantha. It is widespread. You know, there's a lot of people in the industry that are leveraging programmatic advertising. You know, I think there is a big knowledge gap in what people know about what you can and can't do in cannabis advertising. And, you know, the fact is that there's a lot of companies that are supporting programmatic advertising on the vendor side. And I can think of probably about, between us and our competitors, we're managing roughly about 3,000 retailers leveraging programmatic, which is almost half the entire industry. So, you know, people are leveraging it. You know, the technology is there. You know, with programmatic advertising, if some of our viewers do not know what that is, that's a combination of AI and service-based advertising that allows you to get your banners, your videos, and audios published across different networks. So when someone is reading the news, or they're watching TV, or they're playing a game on their phone, we have the ability to show ads, you know, within these different platforms and channels with your brand, and explicitly talk about cannabis and promote the sale and use of cannabis. And this is much different than that of, you know, like social media campaign or Google campaign, Google Ads campaign. So the ability to advertise in programmatic is limitless. Like, we are doing podcast sponsorships, we are doing connected TV over the OTT, we are doing full page covers. You know, we do have all the blue ship websites on our platform specifically. You know, you can do Rolling Stones, you know, you can do LA Times. All the major publications are on our platform, and you have the ability to select those publishers and target people on those platforms. So, you know, I'm really excited about the evolution of advertising in cannabis, and you know, the ability to scale programmatic. It's been really effective for all of our clients, and you know, I'm really confident in our platform as well. So, you know, as I said, you can show all these ads in different places, but what does it matter if you can't track the revenue made from those efforts? So, you know, within our platform, you can put in $1,000 budget for the month of November, and you can see how much you made from that campaign. I made $10,000 in influence sales from this campaign. And, you know, on the media gel side, we provide full transparency into the transaction ID. So for example, if you purchased through a Jane shopping cart, you'll be able to see that transaction ID within our dashboard, and you can export this and compare this with any of your own data within your point of sale system or e-commerce menu. So we do have the ability to segment out, you know, new customers versus existing customers, which is very big on showing exponential growth for the campaigns. You can also see kind of distribution. So what ads are performing well, and where what publications are performing the best. So this is all powerful information, and you know, we're very focused on providing transparency. You know, we're a very honest company, and we do not provide any fraudulent data. And I would encourage everyone that is doing programmatic advertising to really vet their vendors, do their due diligence, and compare the data that they found from all the companies in the industry, and hold them accountable, because you know, we're holding ourselves accountable. So we want to make sure that we set the industry standard for the cannabis industry as far as advertising, and we've done that for the last 5 years, and we will continue to do that for the next 5 years. And I hope that answers your questions, Samantha. Well, wonderful. We're coming up on about 30 minutes here. I want to thank everyone for joining today. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend with us and really learn about the conference if you didn't have a chance to make it. I will be doing a few more MJBizCon webinars here over the next few weeks, bringing on guest hosts and some panels so that we can really share information about and experiences at Cannabis Week in Las Vegas. So once again, thank you for the time today. You can find me at instagram.com/guillermo.j.bravo. You can also find me on LinkedIn at Guillermo. Just search for Guillermo Bravo. You can also find Media Gel on Instagram and LinkedIn as well, and it's just at Media Gel, and that's MEDIAJEL. And you can also find us at MediaGel.com. And I just want to thank everyone for joining us today. And if you'd like to schedule a meeting with me, I'm going to go ahead and post this in the so feel free to reach out if you'd like to learn more about our capabilities within the cannabis ad tech market. Reach out to us. We're more happy to share our information and really elevate the industry. Thank you once again. I will chat with you.